DreAllDay.com.
What's up, y'all? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Today's Friday, March 14th, about 4:30 p.m. As usual, weekly tradition, we're going to get into this Q&A. I have not read any of these questions. I'm going to go through each one of these and answer the questions to the best of my ability to refer to you to a website or a video that I've already posted or put up or written if your question can be answered by that. Now, first things, we got to get a couple things out the way. First of all, I want to mention this energy formula I've been using is called G Fuel. And full disclosure, they sent me some of this stuff in exchange. I told them I mentioned it in the video, and I've been taking it like all week. I've been taking like one a day before my workout, and it's pretty good. It's all natural stuff. Like, I don't like putting out any artificial stuff in my body. Y'all know that I've talked about that before. It's all natural. It's basically like I guess they say it's like a cup of coffee, but it's not like an energy drink. It's like powder. So you just put the powder in some water, shake it up, and drink it. Or what I do actually is I take the powder, I just put it all in my mouth, and then I just drink some water, and then like swish it around in my mouth and drink it that way. But it's good energy formula. I haven't felt any negative effects. I can't really tell how much of an effect this has so far. But I've been taking this so far like for a week, like I said, and it feels pretty good. So once again, that's G Fuel. You can check that out, gfuel.com. Second thing, the basketball tournament. TheTournament.com is the basketball tournament. For those of you who didn't see the video I put out earlier this week, there's a 5-on-5 basketball tournament taking place in Philadelphia, my home city, this summer, June 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then the championship is June 28th at a location in TBA. I put out a video because we're looking for supporters for the team. The only way you can actually get into the tournament, because you don't have to pay money, you don't pay any money, you just got to have a certain number of fans support your team to get in. So that's how you get in the tournament. So right now, my team is called the Commission/WOYG. You can actually check that out at DreAllDay.com/TBT. DreAllDay.com/TBT, which stands for the basketball tournament. Go there, join our fan. They call it the fan bandwagon. So you join that as a fan. The more points you have as a fan, the more prizes. The actual tournament is giving prizes to the supporters. So not just prizes for us. The prize for winning the actual tournament is $500,000 in cash. But the prizes for all of you, the supporters out there, you get prizes just for being a supporter. They have raffles for a bunch of prizes. If you go to the website and you see the blog post that I posted about it, you'll see all the stuff that you can win just for being a supporter. And the more fans that you help generate, the more that you recruit. Because once you become a fan, there's a button on your profile where you can share that button. If anybody joins via your share link, you get more points. And I've also announced in that video that my top 5 fans of my team, I'm going to take care of you with some free stuff coming directly from me on top of the free stuff that you will be eligible to win via the tournament's website. So everybody got that. And before we go any further, as far as the basketball tournament, where's all the YouTube hoopers at? Now, all y'all out there that who watch these videos, y'all, well, I know y'all don't just watch me, y'all watch some other YouTube ball players, whether they be these sneaker guys, these trainers, these other players, these skill coaches, these one-on-one guys. Where y'all at? Now, we got a 5-on-5 basketball tournament in Philadelphia this summer for $500,000. Everybody likes to talk about how they can play. You know, everybody got critiques and criticisms and tweaks, and this is better than this, and this guy can play better than this guy, and everybody has their opinions and ideas. Now we got a chance to put something behind it. You got a chance to put some money where your mouth is. It don't cost you nothing to show up in Philly. I mean, except your travel and hotel accommodations, but shit, I'm paying mine. So why don't y'all show up, bring 5, all y'all YouTube ball players out there, and let's see what's going on. I ain't heard shit from nobody since I heard about this 5-on-5 tournament. So all y'all out there watching this video, get in touch with your other favorite YouTube ballers. Hopefully I'm your favorite, but if I'm not, get in touch with them other cats. Find out, tweet them, Facebook them. If you know them personally, message them. You see them in the gym, holler at them. Leave a comment on their videos and say, yo, what's up with that 5-on-5 tournament for $500,000? You a ball player, right? You can't just play in the empty gym your whole life. Show up and let's see what you're doing. All right. So anyway, let's get right into these questions without further ado. First question is coming from Max Maximus. He says, I don't know if this question's been answered, but I'm asking anyway. He has a serious problem. He said, I've been practicing a lot on my own, doing drills. My handles have improved, but in 5-on-5, I get scared and I turn the ball over. What can I do to get rid of this? Go to the guides and tips page on my website. I wrote about this, players who play good in practice but don't play good in games. Somebody asks me that question every week. So go to the guides and tips page on my website and read what I wrote. Max Broner says, at the end of many of your videos, you see people who say things like work on your game. Are they sent in by random people, or did I interview these people? Yes, Max, I put out a video asking people to send in their video clips. If you or anybody else wants to be in the end of any of my videos saying work on your game, all you got to do is record the video. Record it on your phone. Make sure you hold your phone the long way so the video comes out formatted properly. Say your name, say where you from, and then say work on your game. All right, so I would say this is Dre from, you can say anything. You can say where you live. You can say your hometown. You can say your business. You can say, the gang that you hang with, whatever you want to say. So I can say this is Dre from DreAllDay.com, work on your game. That's it. It should be like 10 seconds long. Email that video to me, Dre@DreAllDay.com, and eventually you will see that in one of my videos. Understand, I put out thousands of videos, so don't expect to see it in every video. It's not going to be in the next video the next day after you send it to me. It's not going to happen. It's going to be there eventually. So if you want to see it, I mean, you got to watch all my videos, which you should be doing anyway if you're a subscriber. So Max, that answers your question. Carlitos220 says, would I ever become a basketball coach? He has basketball coach in quotation marks. I think it'd be a great way to help kids reach their full potential. Well, Carlitos, there are a lot of good basketball coaches out there. I'm not like the savior of basketball coaches. Right now, I don't see myself as being a coach. It's not really interesting to me. But you never know what'll happen in the future. As of right now, no, I do not plan on being a basketball coach. B-Baller412 says, can you do multiple signature workout programs at once? He's referring to the Hoop Handbook signature workouts at hoophandbook.com. I'm sure y'all know that. He said, do they take up too much time, or do you need to just focus on just one? Well, B-Ball, the only person who determines what too much time is you. So if you want to try to do more than one program at once, go ahead and give it a try. If you got the energy and you can do it. If you can't, you can't. But go find out, and then you'll have your answer. But I wouldn't say there's a right or wrong. You just got to have the energy to actually do it. Southern Hoop says, do I want to get married and have kids? We'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. Big Money Luke 2 says, if I could have one superpower, what would it be and why? Never really thought about nothing like that. I guess maybe to fly, so I can get from place to place faster without having to sit in traffic. Big By World says, by the signature workout programs, again referring to programs at hoophandbook.com, NBA signature workouts. Are they 30 days straight, or can I take a day off if it's too cold or it rains or something like that? If I take days off, he says, should I do it now and take days off when that happens? Should I wait for the summer when the weather is better? By World, yes, you can take a day off. I mean, if you go 3 days straight and you're just exhausted on the fourth day, it's better to rest and let your body recover than go in there the fourth day and do a bullshit workout. And then, of course, if your court that you use is outside and it's raining, you can't use the court, then you can't use the court. I mean, there ain't nothing else to do about it. So, yes, you can take days off. My suggestion would be you start it now. Why would you wait for the summertime? You got time to work out now. You should be doing it now. You ain't got no time to waste. I mean, so start it now. If you need to take a day off for whatever reason, take the day off and then get right back into it. You're not going to lose all your game by taking one day off. All right, that doesn't happen. If you work out a bunch of days in a row and then you miss a day and then you come back and you garbage that next day, that's because you wasn't really that good even before that. So just do what you got to do. Joey Colley says, actually, I don't even know what Joey Colley said. Cole Simpson says, what is my favorite brand? My favorite brand is work on your game, DreAllDay.com. The Fruity Melon says, was I ever depressed? Not that I know of. Matthew Musser says, do I think the Heat will three-peat? I mean, it's kind of hard to predict what's going to happen in the future, but it'd be great to see them three-peat. It'd be great to see one team just stand way above everybody else for 3 years straight, which would be very tough to do, as very few teams do it. You got the Bulls, the Lakers, and then it'd be the Heat, and I guess the Celtics back now. Isaiah Maxey says, do my tattoos represent anything? Well, my tattoos say exactly what they are. This one over here says superstar. This symbol means ambition. This says energy, persistence, preparation, and boldness. So they say exactly what they are. So represent, and I mean, they're self-evident. JLee98 says, are there any risks if you play basketball with running shoes on? I mean, there are risks just by playing basketball, period. JLee98. You could tear up your knee, you could tear a hamstring, you could break your back. Anything can happen. If you're going to play a sport, there are inherent risks just in any type of exercise. If you run with running shoes on, there are risks. If you play basketball with basketball shoes on, there are risks. So if you're afraid of the risk of getting injured, then you should probably not play sports at all. Go, play poker or chess or video games or something like that. Jack Hankins says, what are some NBA players I looked up to as a kid? NBA players I liked as a kid, I'll say like up through the teenage years. Let's say Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, Magic Johnson a little bit, I guess. Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett. All the guys that was out there in the 90s. Charles Barkley, David Robinson, all those guys. Kevon Wesley says, how do you find basketball gyms? Kevon, if you're a basketball player, you'll find a basketball gym. I mean, how'd you end up liking basketball? That means you played somewhere, right? So go to that place and play. If you don't know how to find a basketball gym, that means you don't know how to read or write. Since you're on this channel and you left that comment, that means you know how to do both. So it means you know how to use Google or some shit like that. You'll find one if you need one. Dimitri Chukovic says, I'm thinking about buying Ultimate Athlete and Derrick Rose workout programs from hoophandbook.com for the summer so I can get better at my game. He says, do the programs complement each other? Can I do the workouts at the same time? Or can I do other workouts at the same time, such as swimming and cardio, because I want to utilize my time in the summer without wearing my body down so I can make maximum gains? Well, the thing, Dimitri, is that everyone's body is different. Like, you might be able to do the Ultimate Athlete and Derrick Rose and swim and do cardio all on the same day, every day for 90 days straight, while somebody else might only be able to do one and they're going to be dead tired the next day. So you have to see what works for your body. No two bodies are exactly the same. So I can't say, yes, you should do them both at the same time, or no, you shouldn't. You have to find out by using the programs, find out what your body can take on. The most important thing to answer that question is to listen to your body. Don't do it just because you think you're supposed to do it or because somebody told you to do it. Listen to your body. Your body will not tell you a lie. If you need rest, then take rest. If you don't need rest, then do what it is you was going to do. Shailin Patel says, who do I think has the best ball handling in the NBA? I made a video about that, Shailin. You can look that up. I called it Top 5 Ball Handlers in the NBA. George Haddad says, is it good to use your guide hand to aim while shooting? Well, George, there's no such thing as is it good. I mean, the only good thing about shooting is to make shots. The only goal of shooting is to make shots. So if using your guide hand to aim helps you make shots, then use it. If it doesn't, then don't. How do you find out if that's good? Go practice and find out. No two people's bodies are the same. Just because one person shoots a certain way doesn't mean you're supposed to shoot that way. You got to find out what works for you. Which means you got to put in the time on the court to find that out. The reason why a lot of players never get to that point because they don't have the work ethic to put in that time to figure out what works for them. They want somebody to tell them what to do. And when they realize that they can't just be told because they got to find out what's unique for them, they quit because they don't want to put in the work. So that's the point that you're at now. So you got to decide if you're going to put in the work or are you not. Daniel Barra says, what I do for the game of basketball is great. Well, thank you, Daniel. Ahmed Masood says, Coach Gilliam, he's referring to my book, Buy a Game, which is free on my website. That's dreallday.com/buyagame. And one of my college coaches was named Armin Gilliam. He says, how did his outbursts affect your college team's performance? I read your book. Well, Ahmed, if you read my book, then you would have read how the outbursts affected the team's performance. So that question doesn't really make sense. AJ Gill says, what exactly does it mean when I say staying low while you drive? Are you supposed to be bending at the knees or the waist? AJ, what I mean by staying low means to drop your hips to the ground. Your hips is basically your butt. Dropping your butt to the ground is not bending at the waist. That's bending at the knees and dropping the hips down, kind of like when you do a squat or a lunge or something like that. You want to stay low, keep your dribble low, because the lower you are, your center of gravity is basically where your hips and waist and your butt is. That's your center of gravity as a human being. So the lower that center of gravity is, the faster you can move, which is why a Porsche can move faster than it can accelerate faster than a school bus or SUV, because its center of gravity is so low to the ground. Such a small space between the actual bottom of the car and the ground, whereas an SUV is all this space. That center of gravity being close to the ground helps it accelerate faster. It's the same thing for human beings. Andrea Vinci And also, AJ, I got a video on that. How to stay low, how to beat defenders off the dribble is the name of the video. How to beat defenders off the dribble. So you can see me demonstrate exactly what I mean. Andrea Vinci says, I'm 16 years old. I'm an Italian basketball player. I watch European and American basketball. I think Americans lack fundamentals a little bit. Even my coach often says that most NBA players are just clowns. I played overseas for a while. What do I think about that? Well, Andrea, I think that's pretty much is incorrect because it's a blanket statement. First of all, you say you think Americans lack fundamentals a little, but you're 16. Like, how many players have you actually seen play? There are millions of basketball players in the world, so you've probably seen a few. And you already have this paradigm in your head because the guy you look up to, your coach, said that Americans are clowns. So you're looking at it through his eyes because you look up to this guy. So what he says, you're kind of adapting that without really thinking about it. If American players are just clowns, then you Italians should be beating us in international competition. But I've never even heard of Italy competing. So, Andrea, you should go to your coach and ask him about that. As far as lacking fundamentals, no, I don't think so, Andrea. I don't think so. I mean, Americans invented the game of basketball. So you tell me what player it is you're referring to who lacks fundamentals. And, well, actually, don't tell me. Tell your coach and y'all can discuss it. He says most NBA players are just clowns. Well, Andrea, most NBA are the best players in the world. So if they're clowns, then what does that make the people in Italy and you and your coach? Next question. David John says, if you were a consumer, you can only buy one hoop handbook, what would it be? I would go with the total package. The total package or the signature workout, the first package with LeBron, KD, the first group, or the signature workouts reloaded. If just one particular program, as far as the hoop handbook go, I'd say the most popular at this point is probably Kyrie Irving. And besides the signature workout programs, probably the Ultimate Athlete. Joey Ali says, I got the jump manual. I want to know if playing pickup games while using the program will affect my results. So do I need to take a break from basketball or work on my vertical? Joey, no, you don't need to take a break from basketball. The purpose of doing the jump manual is that you get better at jumping while playing basketball. You're not going to not play basketball for 12 weeks. That wouldn't make any sense, would it? You can play basketball while you're doing the jump manual. The thing you need to watch out for while doing the jump manual, and as a side note, this is mentioned in the program. So, Joey, if you had the jump manual, you should probably read the program because this question is answered within it. So I don't even understand why you're asking me this, but just to answer your question, while doing the jump manual, you want to pay attention to what other off-court workouts you're doing. You don't want to do too much of that. But if you want more detail, Joey, read the program. You said you have it, so read it. Armand Moreyer say, thanks for answering last time. I'm 6'3", I'm skinny, but I can shoot, and I'm a good ball handler, in part because of drills he's watched of mine. How can I make myself stronger in the paint since I have the potential to be? You can make yourself stronger by doing some strength training. Check out the Ultimate Athlete or Position to Power programs at hoophandbook.com. Mr. Splashman, I'm 6'2", I'm 14 years old, from Australia. I got invited to a high school tournament in LA. It's in December. Congratulations. I'm a good player, but I want to be a great player. What signature workout programs do I recommend that would make him a great player if he puts in the hard work? Well, any of them will make you a great player if you put in the hard work. It will be you that make you a great player. It's not the program that's going to make you a great player. It's going to be you following the program that make you a great player. So any one of the programs, Mr. Splashman, I would say the first thing you need to do is kind of analyze your game. What type of player are you, and what type of player do you seek to become? And then based on that information, then look at the signature workout programs available to you and choose the one that kind of most fits where you're looking to be. Because, you know, some players might look at a Tim Duncan program and say, okay, I'm going to work on those type of skills. And somebody else might look at a Chris Paul program and say, I want to work on those type of skills. So those are two different types of players. So first of all, you need to decide which type of player you are, and then look at the programs and find the one that works best for you. But you can't go wrong with any of them because they're all based on basketball skill, and you can never have too much of that. YDGEGN says, what cardio workouts do I recommend? Well, if you're talking about a basketball player, cardio workouts, I like to do distance running, just straight running, like a distance or on a treadmill. Of course, you got your suicides, your sprints, the stuff you can do in the gym, things like that, shuttle runs, that type of stuff. It says, is it possible to grow taller with some workouts? Some people say it's possible, but some say otherwise. Well, YDG, whoever told you it's possible to grow taller with an exercise, please tell me what that exercise is, and I'll start doing it so I can be 7 feet by next week. There is no exercise going to make you grow taller. That's ridiculous. Rob J says, he says, Dre, you should do another introduction video to your channel since you're getting a lot of new subs who aren't familiar yet with all your work. Well, why does that, what does that have to do with anything, Rob? I don't understand. Ant Reed, thanks, says, thank you for your videos, the time you put in, much appreciated. No problem, man. Thank you for watching. Derek Booth says, did someone force me to play basketball or did I make the choice? Nobody forced me to play basketball, Derek. Read my book. It's called Buy a Game. DreAllDay.com/buyagame, where I talk about my entire basketball upbringing up through college. And the book is free. Boy Wonder Kid 23 says, I'm an 8th grader. I'm 5'7", 160 pounds. Last year, I was a dead-eye shooter. I was one of the best shooters in school, but now I've been losing my touch. What do I think he should do to get his touch back? P.S. He's starting high school soon. He wants to make the team. What should he work on this summer to have a chance of making the team? Boy Wonder, if you want to get your touch back on shooting, you need to get on the court and keep shooting until you can't miss. And there will never be a point that you can't miss. Even the best players in the world miss, which means you never stop shooting. It's a good answer, right? And he says, what should he work on to have a chance of making the team? You should work on your game. What is your game? Figure out what your game is, work on that, and when you show up at tryouts, show your skills. That's it. There are no special tricks or special 1 or 2 skills that every coach needs. Coaches want talent. They want players who listen, players who work hard, and players who are coachable. That's it. Are you that? If you're that, show up at tryouts and show it. Vladimir 1 says, when you perform dribbling moves, do I try to make them north or south to beat the defender, or do I perform more east-west dribbling? Vladimir, I don't think about that. I just do what I got to do in the moment to get to where I got to go. I don't think about if it's north or south, east or west. That's for people analyzing, watching. When you're on the court, you don't have time to think about that shit. You just do what you got to do. Remember that the goal of offense is to put the ball in the basket. Adrian Morales says, do I have any opinions on plateaus in working out? Well, Adrian, you had to ask me an actual question. That's so broad of a topic. That's not really a question. Ask me something more specific. And he says, my videos keep him motivated while he's injured, so thanks for that. Well, you're welcome, Adrian. I'm glad that you got something to watch while you're injured. Joel Anthony Ramirez says, I've been having this problem that I can't find any gyms to train in. I do drills by myself and work on my game without a little kid shooting. He can't work on his game and do drills by himself without some little kids shooting on the same hoop. Do I have any tips? I mean, Yoel, what the hell kind of question is that? Go find another court. If you can't find another one, then work with what you got. That's it. If you ain't got no other court, that's what you got. Work with what you got. And excuses won't get you nowhere. Finest9906 says, I love your vids. I just hit 75,000 subscribers. I'll be watching. Like my vids till I get 100,000. Well, thank you. And now he's on to the question, do I remember when I first dunked, and how old was I? I was 16 when I first dunked, so yes, I do remember. And thank you, Finest9906. Joey says he has diabetes. He was diagnosed in January. Do I have any advice on making the varsity team this upcoming season? Same thing I told the other guy. If you got game, show up and prove that you got game. That's it. There's no magic trick that's going to get you on the team. Show up and prove your game. Jason Diggles says, do I think it's possible to be a great player without practicing on a basketball court or a basketball hoop? Jason's like asking me, do I think it's possible to be a great video maker without making a video, or being a great writer without writing anything? No. If you want to be a basketball player, you got to play basketball. Tough Tanny says, do I recommend any choices? Because wherever he goes to the gym, there's a volleyball public tournament. It takes 4 hours. Then 2 hours he goes to the gym. It's packed. It causes him to not be able to do his drills or training because it's literally packed. Even the outside courts have no nets. It's rough surface. He misses, and if he makes a swish shot, since there's no net, the ball drops and goes down the road. And he's asking me, do I recommend any choices? Well, what you going to do? I mean, you know what is available to you. You got a gym that's packed. You got an outdoor court, and you describe the terrain out there. If that's what you have, that's what you have. Work with what you have. A lot of y'all doing a lot of bitching about your situation as if something's going to change about it just because you come on YouTube and bitch about it to me in the comments. Nothing's going to change. Work with what you have. I played on the outside court. I didn't have access to an indoor gym every day till I was 19 years old, my sophomore year of college. Or I guess at the end of my freshman year of college. So that's no excuse. And many of you, it sounds to me, many of you are even younger than that age. So what excuse y'all have, I have no idea. I grew up playing on an outdoor basketball court every day in the winter, in the fall, in the spring, and the summer. So whenever I had a chance to get out there, I was out there. No nets, cold, dirty court, whatever. Do what you got to do. If you want to be a basketball player, your excuses will not matter. If you don't make it, ain't nobody going to want to hear, oh, you didn't make it because the court didn't have no nets. Oh, I understand. Ain't nobody going to hear that shit. They're going to say either you're a basketball player or you're not. That's all that's going to matter in the long run. All these excuses will not matter. Joe Henley says, I don't know how you would go about doing this or if you had the time, but how about a podcast that includes stuff like this Q&A, motivation, and other things? Well, Joe, why? What would be the difference between doing a podcast and doing a video? They seem exactly the same to me. Brandon Andenoff says, I followed your advice for walking onto a college team, which I wrote about on my website in the guides and tips section. He says, first open gyms and next week he's trying to play at this D2 school. Do I have any extra advice? Brandon, no, I don't have any extra advice. Do what I said on there, and if you got game, you'll make it. My advice is not going to get you on the team. Your game will get you on the team or keep you off of it. Matt Meister says, Dre, what should I eat? And should I have a diet from 16 years old and a basketball player? Plus, I'm still grown. Well, Matt, you don't want a diet. You basically want to live a certain way. As far as what you eat, that's a big part of how you live. So it's not about a diet. A diet is temporary. I have a bunch of videos called Diet in the Diet and Nutrition playlist on my channel, which you can also see on a page on my website called Diet and Nutrition. That's also under the Guides and Tips page, Guides and Tips section, that has all the videos and has videos from other people and links from people who are much more expert when it comes to diet and nutrition than I am. So go there and read those and, inform yourself, educate yourself. You have questions, specific questions, then you can get them answered there. You didn't ask me anything specific. You asked me, what should you eat? You should eat food. I mean, how's somebody just going to ask me, what should they eat? Eat what you like to eat, and then educate yourself on what you're putting in your body. Asan Khan says, what kept me motivated to stick with basketball when I first started as a kid? Asan, read my book, Buy a Game, DreAllDay.com/buy a game. Raw Fan says, I know this is kind of off topic, but it relates to his mental game and can help his life mental game and his basketball mental game. He says, people talk about his sister a lot when he goes to the court. It gets him mad, but he's scared to fight them. He says, how can I increase my confidence against them since they insult my sister? Well, Raw Fan, if you want to fight them, then the only way you're going to get confidence to do it is to get in a fight. You probably lose, but they'll probably respect you more if you do get in the fight, if you do actually start the fight. Like I said, you'll probably lose. But other than that, if you don't want to fight, speak to people. If you talk and express yourself in a respectful manner, then maybe they'll respect you. And if they don't, then, I don't know, you might have to take it somewhere else. You might have to take it to the next level after that. I'm not condoning violence, so you just have to confront your fears. If you're afraid to do something, that's probably the thing that you need to do next. That's my opinion. How to Be a Noob is his name. He says, how good was I when I was about 16? Read my book, DreAllDay.com/buy a game. Lil Mo 102. All right, 2 questions left. Lil Mo 102 says, which NBA player do I compare my game to the most? Do I pattern my game at certain NBA players past and present? Lil Mo, watch the video that you just commented on. I answered that question last week. State of Nate 802 says, when running, especially sprints, I get out of breath pretty easily and become winded. I assume I'm a little out of shape, but I'm not fat and I'm actually underweight for my height. What do I suggest I do to increase my endurance and get back in shape fast? In State of Nate, you're not going to get in shape fast. There's no such thing as getting good fast. No such thing as getting handled fast. No such thing as becoming in shape fast. You got to put in consistent work, because if it was easy to do it and fast, guess what? Everybody would do it. It's not easy to do it. It's not going to happen overnight. That's why most people don't do it. You get out of breath when you do sprints. Everybody gets out of breath when they do sprints. Okay? There's no way to prevent that. The thing about being in shape is that you do sprints, you get out of breath, is how quickly you get back from being out of breath to be able to do it again. See, somebody who's in shape might only need 15 seconds, where somebody who's not in shape might need 10 minutes. That's the difference between being in shape and not being in shape. It's not the complete avoidance of getting tired. It's how quickly you can get back in the game after you get tired. And it's not about your weight. Nobody cares how much you weigh. How much you weigh is not the measure of being in shape or not being in shape. That's like thinking of the 80s and the early 90s. We way past that now. It's 2014. It's about your cardiovascular endurance. It's more, we're looking at BMI, body mass index, body fat, things like that, and what you're actually capable of doing with your body. That stuff don't even matter either if we're looking at what you're capable of doing with your body when you're out there on the floor. That's the most important thing. So it's not about your scale. It's not about any of the other measurements bullshit. All that matters is what you do when you're out there on the floor. If you want to get in shape, you need to do some conditioning exercises. You probably should do more sprints. Try some suicides, full court sprints. You look at the conditioning hoop handbook, which is, what is it, $2.99 at hoophandbook.com. That's it. So thank you everybody for coming through with the questions. Y'all pretty much coming through with pretty good questions. I got a couple repeats. So if you're looking at this video, please watch the video before you post the questions. If you answer me some shit that I just answered the previous week, I'm going to just tell you to watch the last video. So keep the good questions coming. If you don't have a good question to ask, it's okay to not say anything. I'll be here for the next one. You ain't got to ask something every week just because I'm here. Ask a good question if you got one. If you don't, just listen to other people's questions. Maybe they'll ask something that you might have been thinking, or something that might be an idea to you that you haven't been thinking of. That's it. Make sure you go to DreAllDay.com/TBT. Become a fan. Support the basketball team that I'm putting into this 5-on-5 tournament up in Philly this summer for $500,000. And it's not just for me. You get prizes for yourself. And I'm taking care of my top 5 fans. That's it. That's all. Enjoy your weekend. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.
Block Reishi from Chicago. Work on your game.